Hey there, Thick Thoughts. Thank you so much for listening to the Thick Thoughts podcast. We wanted to take a quick second and give a special thank you to everyone who has bought us a coffee and caffeinated us. If you would like to help support us, you can visit ko-fi.com/thickthoughts or the link in the description. And now on to the episode.
Welcome to the Thick Thoughts podcast. I'm Ellie.
I'm Sarah.
And today and today we are joined with the lovely M's Journey.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous and excited at the same time.
You should be nervous.
Just hold your arms up so that you're not nervous sweating. That helped me.
I know. I listened to yours today, on the way to the gym, and I was cracking up. I was like, this is going to be me when I do this. I'm sweating profusely.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I took a few shots. But it's not too bad.
Yeah. We'll see.
There's no reason to be nervous. Just, just us asking you random questions.
Yeah, I'm down for random questions.
So why don't you start from the beginning like we do with everybody? Just let us know who you are, what your journey is, and what brought you to us today.
Okay, well, I'm Emily, of course, and I was formerly Emily Weight Loss back in 2015 when I first started my Instagram. And I changed it to M's Journey when I started CrossFit because Emily Weight Loss was just kind of bland, I guess. And I guess being me, I was so indecisive. So I've switched it back and forth plenty of times. But now I am on the journey to have weight loss surgery. So I'm here to talk about my pre-op adventures.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
How are you feeling?
Today I feel fine. If you would have asked me on Tuesday, I was ready to jump off a cliff.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. So my insurance requires a 6-month monitor diet by your primary care.
Mm-hmm.
So I am as of Tuesday, I'm in my 3rd month. So the surgeon that I was seeing wanted me to lose 60 plus pounds within 6 months, which is doable if you feel like starving for 6 months. But it's not working for me. So on Tuesday I went to weigh in, and here I am thinking I've lost 10 pounds because of how well I was doing all week or this whole month, and I only lost 1 pound. And I was so sad. I cried my eyes out. And I even told my mom, and she was like, that sucks. And I was like, you're not supportive.
Oh my God. Well, I told you, and this goes to anybody. When you think about 1 pound, you're like, oh man, it was only 1 pound, or oh man, it was only half a pound. 1 pound is 4 sticks of butter.
Oh yeah. So after my emotional breakdown, I came home and watched 3 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. And then I went to my new surgeon, who was like, you've lost 21 pounds. That's perfect. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I don't expect you to lose more than 30 in your pre-op diet. He was like, your body is just not going to lose the weight. So I felt so much better. But I still was so disappointed because I felt like working so hard, you would see the results. And it felt like I worked for nothing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I think that we all, right before we made the decision, had that same sort of sentiment.
Yeah. I was one of those girls who looked at people who had weight loss surgery and was like, oh, they took the easy way out. If they worked a little harder, they could definitely, lose the weight by themselves. And now going through this, I was like, what am I thinking? That was awful of me to even think that, because this is not easy at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. I think I read this article. I don't know if I mentioned it in a prior recording, but basically this article was saying that weight loss surgery, you get a smaller stomach, but it also something about it changes the bacteria in your gut, and how it responds to food. I don't want to like speak on it too much just because I feel like I'm not as educated as I need to be. But yeah, I mean, I think it's normal for people, if you don't know anything about the surgery or you only see a few people do it, I think it's normal to be ignorant to like just how difficult and how hard it is as a process.
Yeah, it's not only physically hard, it's also mentally and emotionally hard because you're going through all these feelings and changes that your body's making that it's just kind of, it's like an emotional process almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think when you finally decide to have your surgery, it's like you got to be so ready for it because it does drain you like a lot, especially pre-op, because there's so many things that you're like scared of. You're scared of, I'm pretty sure like you probably have like a lot that you can do.
Yeah. One of like my key things is like, I had my gallbladder taken out last July, and the surgeon told my mom that he had a really hard time keeping my abdomen inflated. And that's one of my fears, is that I'm going to go through all this and then get to surgery and the surgeon's not going to be able to keep my abdomen inflated, and I'm going to wake up and he's going to be like, oh, by the way, we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then of course, this may like just be my fear, but not even coming off the table, just not like making it through surgery is a fear, just because I am at a high risk to have the surgery.
Yeah. I mean, and like, I know that I had that fear going into it as well. Like I just kept thinking like, you know, that I'm going to be like the 0.1% or whatever that doesn't make it out. But I think, and I've said it before, like the thing that helped me was like, I could, as someone who was as an obese person or morbidly obese or whatever you happen to be when you have surgery, like you're more likely to die, like drop dead of like heart disease or whatever health issues you may have than from like being on the surgery table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just a fear. I mean,
yeah.
My fear was more of like them wheeling me in and seeing all of them look over me, and then that would be the last thing I would see. Like that was my fear, and that ended up fucking happening. So I was terrified the whole time.
Was it as bad as you anticipated, Ellie?
Yes, it was horrible for me, at least, for my anxiety. But at the same time, like I was kind of like drugged out so much that like I was trying to have a panic attack and I couldn't. So it was like, oh, thank God, at least I'm drugged up right now. Like that was all I could think of right before I went under. Like it was just that. But there's also like the fears that you have after the fact, the fear of failure, the fear of like, is this the right choice type of thing? And I'm sure you're going through that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through it all. I'm an overly emotional person who like lets things, I let things get to me more than they should. And so just this whole process of the pre-op diet and getting ready to do like my EGD and going to a cardiologist and seeing a therapist, like it's hard when you don't have a major support system like around you. Yeah, having a social media platform and everything, that's fine because I follow people and people follow me who have had surgery, who are going through surgery, and that's perfect. And you can relate to them, but it's also hard like in everyday life when I don't have people around me who have been through it, like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to talk to somebody like, hey, I know I lost a bunch of weight at first, but now I'm having surgery, and they're like, well, why can't you just lose it again?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's like something that you have to like just work through. Like it's like there's no training manual on like how to have weight loss surgery. So it's like after weight loss surgery, there's so many like new challenges that like you don't really have a playbook for, you know?
Yeah.
So you talked about like what brought you to the decision. You said you lost weight before, and what brought you to the decision to like have weight loss surgery?
So in September of 2016, I lost 100 pounds all the way from January 2015 to 2016. It took me like that long to lose 100 pounds. And after I lost that much weight, I really didn't know what to do next. So I kind of just like maintained it for a bit. And then I had some personal things go on that I let food control how I dealt with my emotions. And so I gained 90 pounds back within maybe 10 months. And so this was last year. By December, I was really contemplating having the surgery. I was like, something's got to give. I cannot keep doing this. I don't know why I'm not losing any weight. Like, I would have really good days where I would eat on track and everything, but then I would fall off, and I'd fall off for like a month. And nobody was telling me, like, hey, you're literally self-destructing. Like, nobody was warning me. Nobody was saying, Emily, you need to stop. It was just like this process, and nobody was helping me. So my mom was going through the pre-op diet as well. And in January, I made an appointment to go see her surgeon. And her surgeon was like, if you lose this much weight, if you get down to this weight, you know, I'll do your surgery, blah, blah, blah. And I was doing really good. Well, then come March of this year, when I was doing CrossFit, we have this thing called the Open. And during the Open one of the workouts, like, this feeling overcame me where I was like, oh, you can lose the weight naturally. So I talked to some people, and they were like, yeah, you'll be fine. Just eat this and you'll be okay and you'll lose the weight. So I started following this program, and I was doing really well with it. I mean, I was eating 4 cups of vegetables at every single meal. So you can imagine how miserable I was.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, it was awful. Like, the first phase, you were only eating 3 cups of vegetables, but then the second phase, you were eating 4 cups. And like,
what?
Yes, I felt like I was becoming a green bean. Like,
I was gonna say,
how many?
Did you start turning green?
Yeah, and also, like, how much did you go to the bathroom? Like, were you in there all day?
The time. Yes.
Jesus.
Like, I felt sick to my stomach because you're just eating so much, and it's like so much food. And I was losing the inches, but I wasn't losing the weight. So after like 3 weeks of it, I was sick of it, obviously. And I kind of was just like trying to eat what I was eating before when I lost that weight initially. Well, then the more nothing was happening, and my mom was approved for surgery, and she had surgery, and I honestly was so rude to her because I was like, I cannot believe you're having surgery and I'm just going to be fat forever. Like, I was jealous. And I admit that I was really jealous towards her. But she had her surgery, and that day I made an appointment with the surgeon that I saw in January. And he was like, okay, that's fine. I need to see you in the office again. Well, when I saw him in the office, I had gained more weight. And he was like, I cannot do this surgery if you don't lose this much weight. You won't be approved, blah, blah, blah. So it's been over a year since I've like actually thought about having the surgery. And here I am now, like 3 months in, and I feel like the last 3 months have gone by so slow. And now I have these next 3 months I feel like are going to go by even slower, because after this, everything goes to insurance and I wait for my approval. So,
yeah. I remember the 6 month, because I had 6 months of like supervised visits to the bariatric office that I was working with, and I remember it feeling like it was taking forever.
yeah.
And then like the thing that was like probably most frustrating is that they wouldn't schedule my surgery until I had insurance approval, which I understand, but you know, until you have that date, you can't plan anything else because you don't know exactly when you're going to have surgery. And it was just, it was definitely frustrating. So I can like, it feels like it's going to be forever, but then it's going to get there and you're going to be like, you know, you started when you started, and like, I'm just so excited for you.
I know.
I'm excited.
It's crazy that you guys had to go. I only had maybe like a 2-month wait period, but that was because like the hurricane was around here and people were closed, and it was like kind of the holiday season area time. So I didn't really get to like do all of that stuff. But
damn, girl.
But even
what kind of bougie insurance do you have?
I don't. I didn't go through insurance. That's why.
Well, that's probably why you did.
Yeah. My insurance didn't cover it. So that's
okay.
like at all. Like they kind of laughed at us on the phone type of shit. So, so for me, those 2 months of like planning and everything was like really overwhelming for me. So I can't even imagine, like, and I had a date, but my date moved around a couple times. Like initially I was supposed to have it on the 7th, and then it was on the 10th, and then it was back to the 7th, and then it went back to it was just going back and forth a lot. And for me that was really nerve-wracking. So I can't even freaking imagine not having one. That would have that would have bothered the crap out of me.
Well, see, I'm kind of on a timeline with mine, and I already told the surgeon because in July, I actually come off my parents' insurance. And I mean, I'll switch to my own insurance, but because everything will be going through that insurance, it has to be done under that. It can't be done under my own. If it were done under my own, I would have to do the 6 months again.
Yeah.
So, plus, fingers crossed, I'll hopefully be starting nursing school next August. So I told him, I was like, I need the surgery preferably in like April or May. That way I'll be fully recovered and ready to start nursing school without having to worry about anything.
Well, good for you for nursing school, by the way.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you. Well, I haven't been accepted yet. I have pre-cal left to take, and then I will submit everything to them and hopefully get accepted.
Yeah. I know, like, it's like hard, but, you know, I know that it's hard to, like, get even accepted to nursing school. But, like, for people who feel a calling to it, like, it's rewarding, or so I hear. I'm not a nurse or anything.
Yeah. I definitely feel called to being a nurse. And working in a hospital now, I'm getting the experience I need in a hospital setting. So I definitely feel like this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. I also think that people who, like more medical professionals who have experience in like bariatrics or even weight loss surgery, like what an amazing perspective that you could have for people who you come across who are considering it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything sort of going through your mind right now after going through to your new doctor that maybe you were kind of like unsure of what he was trying to tell you, that maybe you want to relate to us?
What really surprised me about this new surgeon that I'm going to is that he didn't push either bypass or sleeve. Like he left that, he's leaving that up to me. Now, of course I'm leaning more towards sleeve just because I like the better outcomes of it. But I'm also keeping bypass into play just because of how heavy I am. You know, I know with sleeve you only lose like 90 to 100 pounds your first year, or I think that's what he told me. Whereas bypass, you lose more. But then I'm also nervous about the effects that bypass has in the long run. So that was one of the things that he told me. And then the fact that my pre-op diet, which for most people is like 2 weeks, is going to be 8 weeks. That was something that I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a shriveled prune by the time I have surgery.
Oh my gosh.
Is it just pure liquids, or like what is he going to make you do?
So it's like 2 protein shakes a day, or like Slim Fast shakes, you know, whichever one you prefer. And honestly, like 4 ounces of protein and a serving of vegetables and a serving of fruit. And that is like your only meal.
See, that was my pre-op diet, but it was for 2 weeks.
Oh no, this is going to be for 8 weeks. So
that is
excited.
Crazy. But I mean, yeah, I wish I could, like, the only thing I could say is like, you know, it will like shrink your liver like crazy, but that's not going to mean much when you're like 4 weeks in and you're like ravenous for like a piece of chocolate or something.
Yeah, I told my mom, I was like, you only had to do it for 2 weeks and you were pretty miserable by the first week. I was like, I cannot imagine how bad this is going to be.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that just sucks. Well, just think of like after surgery, like you'll be so happy to you'll be so excited to have surgery that you won't even be thinking about like any other worries. You'll just be like, get this stomach out of me.
Yeah, he was like, there's no snacking either. He already told me on Tuesday, he was like, no more snacks for you. I was like, wait. I love snacks.
Right.
Also, just keep it in mind that like the amount of weight that you do lose depends on you solely. Like it depends on, it's a very personal thing. Like he can tell you a range, but don't think that that's like set in stone, that that's going to be the range, you know?
Well, and I also think like the expectations of RNY and the sleeve are like I mean, I'm sure there's like medical literature to back up whatever, but I, like Ellie said, like it's 1000% a tool. And like, if you use the shit out of either one, like you're going to have great success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And he told me that I did not have to decide which one I wanted until the day we submit everything to insurance. So he was like, I want you to keep thinking about it, go to the support group meetings, and just talk to different people who have had both and see which one you think would be more beneficial to you. So
yeah,
waiting for that.
Yeah. I mean, I know that, like, did your other surgeon have like a suggestion for which one you should have?
Oh, he was definitely pushing bypass more than he was pushing sleeve. He was like, I think bypass would be more beneficial for you, whereas sleeve, I think, is just, you're not going to be happy with that. And I mean, I was all for listening to him, but I was pretty set in stone, like, I do not want bypass. But now that I'm like researching it more, I feel like I don't want to take it out of play. I just want to, I just want to keep it here just in case, because, you know, if I don't lose what I expect to lose or what I want to lose with the sleeve, I mean, you can't fix that. Whereas if I go the bypass route, you can fix it and you can reverse it. So it's, it's, I know that like,
it's a tough decision. I think like, the main reason why I ended up having the sleeve, and the main reason for that was like at one of my first pre-op appointments with the bariatric office. I asked the lady, I was like, so which one do you think would be best for me? And they basically said, you know, you're young, and the sleeve is like, not that you don't have to make changes, but they said like the sleeve is the most quote unquote like normal, like you have a relatively normal stomach. It's just a lot smaller. And that was just appealing to me because, you know, like I don't want to like never eat a carb again in my life, or like never eat, or I'm trying to think of other things that, or like drink with meals. That was like a main thing. Like I was like, how am I not going to drink with meals because of the flushing, or what do they call it? Basically, if you have a Roux-en-Y, like you can't drink with meals because it washes out your pouch and you'll be hungry again. And I was like, I love having a sip of water with my meal. Like and that was like a major factor too. But I think it's so hard because like you want someone to, like, I remember wanting someone to tell me this is the one that you should do. But ultimately you have to like think about like yourself and like what you think, like set yourself up for success for who you are, not who you like hope to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Ellie, how did you sleeve?
How did I come about the sleeve?
Yeah.
Well, I knew people around me that had the sleeve and had success. And I've also known people that have had the sleeve and then have regained a ton. But then I've also known the same with bypass. So for me, I just went to the doctor and I just asked him his opinion, because he's like known for the surgery here where I'm from. So I was just like, straight up, what's better for me? I don't even think I was thinking of the bypass. And he looked at me and he's like, you just need a sleeve. He goes, if you hate it, there's always revision. He's like, there's no revision the other way. That's what he told me. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but he's like, you can always revise the sleeve. You can't revise the bypass. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So that set me up for that, because I was like, if I'm not happy with my sleeve, I can always go ahead and change it up, you know? I have that option.
True.
Which that was what kind of made it more concrete for me. But he was also just like, I'm only going to give you a sleeve option. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it's hard when you have both like options.
Yeah, again, stress. Is there, so I know that you talked about it a little bit, that you were losing weight beforehand. Is there like a certain, like, I don't know if you mentioned it, because I can't remember that far. But did you have like a certain diet that you were going through? Was it mostly like a fad? Because I know that you said that you were having those cups of veggies after you had lost a lot of weight. But before then, what was it that helped you achieve that weight loss?
Oh, so at first, I honestly have no idea how I lost that weight. Like the doctor even asked me, he was like, how did you lose 100 pounds? And I was like, I have no idea. I do not remember. Like, I remember vividly eating like a Fiber One bar, a banana, and whipped cream for a meal. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I think I was pretty much just like counting calories almost and doing nothing but cardio. And then I like started CrossFit in October of 2015. And then it took me from then to September of 2016 to lose the rest of the weight. And I was just like, I have no idea, honestly.
Damn.
I know.
One of my family members, she had a kid and then she just like lost a bunch of weight. I was like, how did you lose weight? She's like, well, I got pregnant and I had a kid. And then I lost like, I don't know how much she lost, like probably 70 pounds. I'm like, wow. Like,
what?
Is this what it takes?
I guess you just need to pop out a baby and then you lose weight. Like, it's so weird.
Don't you gain weight when you pop out a baby?
I think most people do, but like this family member was like, nah, I just lost a bunch of weight. I think she like breastfed and I'm sure that helped. But like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, cannot relate. I look at a cookie and I gain like 17 pounds. It's like, great.
I felt that spiritually.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like Thanksgiving, definitely had a few cookies, a few dozen, and not a few dozen, but Emily, this is your episode, but the other day I had a milkshake because there's this ice cream place nearby that my boyfriend really likes and he was in town, so he wanted a milkshake. I was like, fuck it. It's Thanksgiving. I'm going to have a milkshake. I had it and like literally felt like absolute garbage. And I was like, why do I eat sugar? And then before you have surgery or before you start your journey or whatever, I would always be like down like 17 ice cream pints or whatever. And now I'm like, who am I? Give me a rice cake.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways.
That's how I felt after Thanksgiving in general, eating all of the carbs and all of the sweets. I was like, I just feel like complete trash right now. I'm not used to eating like this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Thanksgiving, I literally had like turkey and these green bean roll-ups with like bacon on them.
Damn, you're all about them green beans.
I know, man.
I love green beans.
Ugh.
But at work, they fed us, and I had some ham, and I had like a little bit of macaroni, and I felt fine. Well, how about on Tuesday after I posted like my mental breakdown on Instagram, somebody messaged me and they were like, you ate a lot on Thanksgiving, so I don't even know why you're upset. And I was like,
rude.
Okay.
How about you shove your face full of macaroni and cheese and fuck off? I'm sorry. I didn't mean. People are so fucking rude. Like, I don't understand it.
Yes, and it's like people who have no followers,
right?
And they just are on Instagram to just be assholes, and I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
Like, why?
Speaking of food, what have you had? I'm gonna ask you probably later on, like, because I want to continue this journey with you, having your surgery. I'm gonna ask you now, and then we're gonna come back to it at another episode. But have you thought of what you're gonna have for your food funeral?
Oh, my food. I have thought about this, and I love food. Like, food is, if it was...
So do we all.
Yeah.
If it was a person, like, I would definitely marry food. Like, food is...
I would fucking finger bang food every day.
Yes.
That's graphic. I hope my mother isn't listening. Oh my God.
I love all kinds of food. Mexican is my favorite, but we have a restaurant here in Alabama, and there's only like 3 in the state, I think, called Baumhauer's, and they literally sell these French fries that are curly fries. So, they're 10 times better because they're curly. Right? With queso.
It's law.
And bacon.
With queso and bacon?
Yes, they're called gooey fries. When I tell you that those fries are the most amazing things ever on this planet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're so good. That's probably going to be in my food funeral. And if Chick-fil-A would just continue with their peppermint milkshake until like March.
Oh,
that would be perfect.
I'm sure it's a downgrade from Chick-fil-A milkshake, but by March, McDonald's will have Shamrock Shake.
I've actually never had a Shamrock Shake.
What?
I know.
You need to, I mean, well, if Chick-fil-A doesn't have it, then, I mean, check it out.
You're both.
Chick-fil-A will definitely discontinue their peppermint milkshake after Christmas. It's like,
then McDonald's will.
You're both wrong.
What?
Peppermint should not be in food.
Okay,
sorry.
You can, Ellie, shut your whore mouth, okay?
I had a whole story like a few months ago about how chocolate and mint shouldn't be a thing, and I got so much hate. I got messages. You know what? No, I have a superior palate. Okay, this is why I don't. It's not. I don't need toothpaste in my food. Thank you.
Maybe your toothpaste is flavored incorrectly.
Yeah, because mint chocolate chip ice cream is the shit, and so is peppermint ice cream. Yes.
Oh my god! You know what? I used to have.
I will fight you guys.
I used to have. There's this Ben & Jerry's ice cream that is it's like mint chocolate. It's mint, but with Oreos mixed in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I used to down like 3 pints of that a week, and it's like 20. It's so many calories. Oh my god! If I could go back, I would have one more.
Do y'all have Bluebell where y'all are at?
Yeah.
No, I don't. So
ice cream, Bluebell ice cream.
And that's only in the South.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bluebell ice cream comes out with like 3 Christmas flavors a year. And one of their flavors this year is called Christmas cookies.
Ooh.
It is a sin to enjoy it as ice cream. Yes. Like, I wish my food funeral was coming up because I would just kill a whole gallon of that and just be like, all right, I'm ready now.
You know what's funny? I guarantee you there's going to be like some super skinny fitness person listening to this, and they're like, see, this is why you guys are so fat. You've like changed your lives and you're still thinking about food. Yeah.
I can, I'm going to think about food every fucking day, bitch.
Every day.
I hate that when people have never like been overweight in their life and are not addicted to food, and then they come up and they're like, see, that's why you're gonna gain all your weight back, is because you're thinking about it. I'm like, just because I think about it out loud and express that I would like to eat an entire McFlurry doesn't mean that I'm gonna. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna.
Thinking doesn't have any calories, okay? So I'm gonna think all I want, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think my mom's food funeral was Moe's. And she was like, I asked her, I was like, so what do you want your last meal to be? And she was like, Moe's. And I was like, Moe's? Out of all places, you chose Moe's? But honestly, it's probably going to be gooey fries and probably Mexican food. I'm going to have queso and cheese dip. I mean, that's the same thing. Queso and chips one more time.
Yeah.
Oh, quesadilla.
My food funeral was Cheesecake Factory. I felt like it was a good choice because it has like everything.
That is a good choice.
I didn't even think of the Cheesecake Factory.
It has a lot of options. Appetizers. Oh my god.
Plentiful amount of food. Like tons of food for the serving.
So much food.
Yeah, I say my food funeral is going to be what I say it now, but come time for it, I'm probably going to change it again. So,
maybe you can have more than one. Maybe you can have more than one.
Yeah.
Like, the world is your oyster.
Right.
You know how
some funerals are like a whole week, like she just said.
I had a straight up like week and a half of just food funeral, crying and eating. It was great.
That's probably gonna be me. I'm gonna like just avoid Instagram that day, and then come back on Instagram. My face is gonna be like so fat and swollen from being bloated.
You know what? No one would blame you, honestly.
I know, and I'm gonna be like, I had my funeral today. I'm now drinking 2 protein shakes and eating a piece of chicken. Please allow me.
I think
time to grieve.
Just let me turn into green bean slowly, okay?
And I want to preface this by saying, I don't preface it, but I want to say that if you're judging people for having a food funeral before taking a giant like leap in their life, like having a fucking surgery, go fuck yourself. Like, just go fuck yourself.
Amen.
Because like, I will never like, I don't want to freak you out, Emily. I'm like, I will never be able to eat the amount of sushi at a buffet that I used to be able to eat, and that saddens me a little bit inside, but like I can do things now with my life and I'm fine. Like it outweighs it. So like fuck off everybody.
Used to I would eat like 20 chicken nuggets and a box of like pasta and would down that in like maybe 20 minutes. And 3 hours later, I would be starving. And I would go to McDonald's and I would get, like, I swear to God, 2 double cheeseburgers with meat and cheese only, a large fry, and a Coke every time.
That sounds so good.
Delicious.
I know it sounds so good, but like when I think about it, I'm like, wow, no wonder you're fat. You ate all this stuff.
I used to fuck up McDonald's, like my like a Big Mac meal with a large diet and like a McChicken on the side.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Always the McChicken on the side. There's always a side of McChicken.
It's always
the perfect thing.
Yeah, mine was a quarter pounder with cheese with Big Mac sauce on it, and then I would shove nuggets in that and fries.
Yeah, guys, if I'm feeling like bougie, I would go to Chick-fil-A and get a chicken sandwich, an order of chicken minis, and hash browns.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guys, we are food artists. We are this is like a renaissance of food deliciousness, you know?
Yeah, let's change it because probably everybody's like fast forwarding through this because they're trying to like eat their fucking salads.
Everyone's eating rice cakes angrily.
Yeah, don't like just think about the food, but don't eat it because then you'll ruin your goals.
I mean, you can, but just
you cut out.
I was just saying you can eat it once in a while. One of my friends told me on Instagram, she was like, "Listen, you can take a bag and visit. You just can't unpack and live there."
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right?
I like that.
Shout out to Alex, 206 VSG, I think is her thing. But anyways, yeah. That really helped me when I was like having these weekends away and stuff. Like you can visit, you just can't live there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I like that saying. Shit.
I wish I could be a senior in high school again because I would definitely use that as my senior quote.
Right?
Yeah. How old are you, Emily?
25. I will be 26 in June.
Ooh.
25 was a good year for me.
Yeah.
25 so far is pretty good. I got into school, going through pre-op for surgery, and I have a job that I really like. So
a lot of big changes.
So far, yeah.
I mean, I have so much, like, I wish I had this surgery when I was like 25, and I think it's just a great time to make a big change in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, my main regret from my surgery is that I didn't do it sooner. Hands down. Like, I wish I would have done it, like, a little younger and would have listened to, like, every doctor ever.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't. And I feel like, I mean, I don't regret anything that I've done, but, like, I feel like I've missed out on a whole chunk of stuff because I let my weight and my insecurities get the best of me and not let me live my life. And I didn't realize it had a lot to do with my size. Because I always felt like I embraced that, you know?
Yeah.
And it turns out I kind of didn't. I was just shying away from everything. And I didn't realize that until the episode with Ashley where she was talking about dating and talking over the phone with people. And I was sitting there like, I only message people for like weeks and weeks and weeks and never really want to meet up with them because then they have to look at me and like realize that I'm not real thin, which it was, but that was like something that I guess was like in the back of my mind that I never really fully understood, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I have actually never been in a relationship, and I think that has a lot to do with my size.
Me too, girl. Don't worry.
I was never in a relationship until I was like 20. I met my boyfriend when I was at like my very heaviest. By some miracle. I still don't understand why anyone dates me.
All the guys that I've met, they're not interested in dating. It's like either a fetish or it's like a one-time thing.
Oh yeah, you get a lot of the chubby chasers there.
Get in, get off, get out type of thing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's hard.
But yeah, I feel you on that one. Like I only recently got into like an actual like kind of relationship, and even then I was just like, fuck this, I don't need this in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not actively seeking a relationship just because I'm so busy with work and school and this that I don't want any more distractions than I already have. Not saying like this is a distraction or work's a distraction or anything. I just don't want anything else to interfere, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, there's a lot going on that you don't need anything.
I actually interviewed for this TV show that was coming back. I don't even know if it's real, but it was to have like weight loss surgery and for them to document it. And they wanted me to find a boyfriend after surgery. And I was like,
what?
This is not what I want to do with my life.
Yeesh.
Huh.
I made it to like the top 5 and then I never heard from them. So I'm just assuming that they don't want to use me on their show.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Or maybe they don't have funding.
They don't deserve you.
They don't.
I know.
They don't deserve you.
I agree.
Do you have any questions like for me and Sarah that you have like that we've maybe touched upon before, but like you never like really got an answer for, that we sort of like glossed over on our stories on our Instagram and stuff?
Do y'all have a support group with whoever you did your surgery with?
So yes, but my surgeon is like almost 2 hours away. So I would have to make a special trip, and I feel like I get most of the support that I need on Instagram anyway. So I don't feel like it's something I need, but yeah, they offer a support group. It meets like once a month or something. What about you, Ellie?
I think that they do have a support group for my thing, because I get emails still about a support group, but like they didn't tell me to go to it. But that's why I'm like, I think there is one, but I don't know. The only support I had in the beginning, I didn't even have Instagram until like day of surgery, I think. Or like I had my surgery and then I came home the next day and I made the Instagram because I had the name, but I didn't post or anything on it. So I think my support group was like my friend going through it, and she's like my best friend. So I would ask her all of the questions and I was just really nervous, and then I would relay it back to like my surgeon's office, but like I didn't really have one to go to, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've heard good things about them.
I would love to go to one even now.
Yeah, my surgeon that I'm seeing now, it's actually a requirement that you go to 3 support group meetings before surgery, and then you go to 6 after. For like a year to see, just to have that support around you. But the surgeon that I was using at first didn't have that.
Yeah.
I think, sorry, Sarah, continue.
Oh, I was just going to say, every surgeon is so different. Like, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous how, like, one surgeon will tell you can't have coffee for 6 months. The other one will tell you can have coffee after week 2. The other one will tell you can't have Advil. You can have Advil. It's, like, crazy.
Or like your surgeon now, like you need to turn into a green bean 8 weeks before surgery. Like,
I know. So, okay, what about caffeine? What is the issue with caffeine? I've seen people who are just like fresh out of surgery who are drinking like pre-workout and going to the gym, and then I see people who have not had caffeine since weeks before. So, what is the issue with caffeine and after surgery?
So I think,
yeah,
I don't, Ellie. So. Just speaking from my experience, my surgeon, they didn't want you, basically they wanted you to focus on water. And also like I think, I'm trying to think of the word, basically coffee makes you poop. So
cramp.
A cramp. And then it makes
cramping.
you poop.
Yeah.
So basically they don't want you to like have empty calories and stuff like that. So I think, and I wonder if caffeine impacts your like your digestion and also like anything with surgery. I'm not really sure, but I was able to have caffeine like 2 weeks out. Like I asked my surgeon, like the surgeon, and he was like, yeah, go ahead. But I didn't even need to give up coffee at all. I just had to give up caffeine. So I ended up switching over to decaf. But I think every surgeon's so different, and basically I think the main thing is they don't want you to do empty calories, and they don't want you to like not get enough water. Right. I think I don't know. Ellie, do you know?
Well, coffee is a diuretic. So if you're trying to keep in water, the last thing you should do is drink something that makes you not keep in water. So at least for like the first 2 weeks, especially since it's so hard to get in enough water, that I think that's why they do it. And it's also the cramping, because you're already in pain from your stomach. Right. To add extra cramping pain, because some people overdo it with the coffee. Like if you have like 1 cup of coffee, you're not gonna like die. You know what I mean? But if you have like, I think they just do it as like a precaution for the people that are like they have the extra gene where they do everything extra for like Like, oh, I can have coffee. I'll have 6 cups of coffee. But I think that's why they do that. But also,
Guess how many cups of coffee I had today? Like, I literally had 6 cups of coffee.
But yeah, but you're a year out. It's fine. I'm saying like a day out of surgery, like you shouldn't be having 6 cups of coffee.
I guess not. Maybe.
Like that's not water. Like that's why people don't count coffee as water, because it's not. It actually expels water from your body. So at least with my surgeon, he was very like my surgeon was so fucking relaxed. He was just like, straight up like, eat the biggest meal that you can right before you come in here. He told me to do that. For right before surgery, and then he goes, also if you want to have your coffee like 2 weeks out, fucking have your coffee, but that's what he told me. He's like, just don't overdo it. Like, you know your limits. You're an adult. You made the decision by yourself as an adult. You know you needed it. It's up to you now.
Yeah, my surgeon actually lets you drink a bottle of Gatorade the day of surgery.
Yeah.
So you're not dehydrated, and then once you're out of recovery, or PACU, and you're in like your room and everything, then you can start drinking 30 cc's of fluid every hour.
Yeah, which is like what, like an ounce, like 4 ounces,
like a little cup, like a little baby medicine cup.
Yeah.
I bet I had like maybe 2 medicine cups full of water before I left the hospital. But they also have you hooked up to like fluids and stuff. Like,
for me, I think the number one question that people always are asking, at least us that have had this sleeve, is like, they're like, my doctor wants me to have like 70 grams of protein in the same 2 days I'm out of surgery, and I need to drink all of this water. What do I do? Listen to your body and just don't fucking push yourself. You know, you just had a major surgery. If you can't, like, as long as you're drinking your ounce of water every 15 minutes and your Gatorade every 15 minutes and you're drinking what they told you to do, you should be fine. But if you're like, don't try to shove shit into your face. Like, you literally just had your, like, at least for me, because I had the VSG, the sleeve, I had to have like 80% of my stomach ripped out of my body. I'm not here to I can
imagine that that's not like comfortable when you're trying to like get something down because you have a new stomach initially.
There's like a lot of there's a learning curve that until you have the surgery you will never understand what we mean by there's a learning curve, which like Erica Gurley Gaines VSG, she just had her surgery, and like I was telling her, like, you're not gonna know when you're hungry, you're not gonna know when you're hungry, you're not gonna know when you're full. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, you're just not gonna know it for a while. There's a learning curve as to figuring out when you are. And then that's what ended up happening to her. And she's like, I would have thought I was going insane had you not told me that, but I also thought you were insane before I had my surgery.
Yeah.
She's
so sweet.
She's awesome.
Yeah, I think she was, I may be wrong and I may be thinking of somebody else, but I'm in like this bariatric support group on Facebook, and I think she might be a member in there. And she posted, like, this was her surgery day, and she, like, posted her Instagram, and I followed her and, like, messaged her, and I was like, oh, my gosh, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Didn't even know the girl. And now, like, we talk almost every single day, and I'm like, so how are you feeling today? How are you, how are you recovering? How's everything going? Are you losing? Are you, what's going on? And she's very sweet. So.
Yeah. Which I want to relay to everybody listening again that if you aren't on Instagram but you found us in some other way, first of all, thank you for finding us some other way. But also, like, Instagram, honestly, the community on there is so varied. There's so many different people with so many different backstories that you will find people that, like, you'll click with, and it's just like a really good resource. Like, I know that Facebook has groups. I mean, I don't really do the Facebook thing, but I know that Facebook even has groups, but I'm pretty sure that I think at least all the people that I know are on Instagram, that they really, like, they swear by having, like, that as a really good support group.
Yeah.
Which
I agree.
I'm biased because I'm on it.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like being on Instagram has just kept me sane throughout this entire journey. I feel so grateful.
Even when I don't have anything to post, like, I just look at people and I look at how they're doing, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm sad today, but they're not sad, so I'm not sad anymore. So
yeah, and also, like, going to meetups, and I'm pretty sure going to, like, the support groups, like, everyone's going through the same fucking thing. Everyone in their own way is going through it, so it's just, like, really reassuring and, like, comforting to know that other people feel the same way that you do, and you're not alone.
Yeah. I'm excited to go to the first support group meeting because the surgeon told me, he was like, there's going to be people who have had surgery, and we're going to pair you up with these people who have had surgery so you can ask them every single question you want to ask them. And I'm like, that is so nice. And he even mentioned, he was like, I don't know what it's like to be overweight. And he was like, and that's why I have this support group, because these people know what it's like. I can't relate to how you're feeling. He was like, the only thing I can fix is give you this tool. He said that he can't fix any emotional problems that I have or any feelings that I need to overcome. And that's why, we have to go see a therapist before we have surgery. And I even asked him if there was like a therapist in the area that I could go see who specializes in somebody who is an emotional eater, because I do want to get like my binge eating and stuff like that under control before I have surgery, and know that after surgery I'm in control of what I'm doing, and I just don't rely on my stomach to tell me.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the mental gymnastics is something that never fucking ceases to amaze me after surgery.
I'm sure it's going to be a whirlwind of fun.
Just getting, like, I still struggle. It's been a year, and I just still, like, the other day with the milkshake thing, like, yeah, I probably could have had a few sips, but, like, did I really need to drink the entire thing?
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't. And I felt like shit afterwards. And the thing is, like, I know I'll probably do it again in, like, a few months, or not a few months, but, like, I'll probably do it again at some point. And, like, you ask yourself, like, why the fuck do you do this? And it's, like, I wish more people would understand, like, how, like, people see, other eating disorders as eating disorders, but they don't see, like, overeating as an eating disorder as well. And it's just as valid as anything else.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah, binge eating is actually one of the new eating disorders, like anorexia and bulimia, how they're like the most common. Binge eating is actually becoming one of the top disorders.
I'm sure it's just like becoming more recognized, like,
Yeah. I know that
even
we all kind of struggle with binge eating, I'm sure, to some level and degree.
Oh, not me, never. So, Emily, what are some things that you're, like, looking forward to doing after, like, do you have any goals for after surgery other than like non-scale goals for after surgery?
Skydiving. I say that now.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, I would probably get on the plane and have a heart attack before I jumped off the plane.
That's awesome.
Like, I
not to have a heart attack, but
yeah, and to fit on a roller coaster again. Like, as much as I hate roller coasters, I love the adrenaline you get from a roller coaster. And honestly, this is so embarrassing. When I was, I think, 13, my brother and I were in Canada, actually. We were at Canada's Wonderland, and we were trying to get on this ride together, and it was a roller coaster, but it was one where you had to, like, lay down on your stomach, and they closed you in. Like, it was almost like a little bubble. And they tried closing me in, and they could not get it to fit over me. And they slammed it down so hard, and it would just pop back up. I know, it's so funny, but it was so embarrassing at the time.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
and so I, like, got off, and everybody just, like, stared at me, and I cried my eyes out. But luckily, Canada's Wonderland had a ride that is, like, big person friendly. And literally, I just kept riding that ride over and over and over again.
There you go.
But definitely skydiving and being able to ride a roller coaster. But honestly, what I'm looking most forward to is just feeling confident in myself and not having to worry about my size and my weight being an issue about anything. Which, I mean, I know it's not going to be, like, an easy fix, and this is not going to be something that happens overnight. I know, like, it's going to be a gradual thing, but I'm just ready for the day when I can walk into a store and not feel like everybody is staring at me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so ready to go into a store like Old Navy and buy a pair of, like, size 14 jeans without having to go to, like, the plus size section or even a size 12. Because even when I was in, like, 3rd grade, I was having to wear size 16s and 18. Like, I've never been tiny. So I honestly have no idea what I'm even going to look like. I have no idea how I feel, but I'm just ready to experience that, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
I know.
I'm so excited. Like, I think about it, and then the day goes by. Like, tomorrow I have to work, so I know I'll be busy, and I won't think about it. But then Saturday I'm off, so I'm going to, like, sit here and be like, okay, can this day just go by any faster? Because I'm ready to, like, be in my next weigh-in. I'm ready to go do this. And so, you know, I'm excited but nervous.
My only advice for you right now is just take everything in and, like, really fucking appreciate it, because, like, I kind of want to redo things all over again. Just to have that, like, that feeling, like, of going and getting a 14. Like, I'm at a 14 right now, and I'm just like, oh shit, I haven't been at a 14 since, like, God knows when. So, like, it's like that like thing where, like, if you watch, like, a show and then it's so good but you want to rewatch it but you've already seen it, so it's not going to be the same.
Oh wow.
No, see, I don't feel that way, because I've seen every episode of Grey's Anatomy like 16 times, and I'm rewatching it again now. So I cannot relate to that because I love Grey's Anatomy. But I understand where you're coming from. Like, I read today in this little bariatric support group that apparently sex is great after you lose all this weight. So I want to find that out too, to see, you know, if that's true or not.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
It's pretty fun.
But, so, like, I guess I'm trying not to share too much, but, like, you know, when you have a larger stomach, like, you can't really see what's going on.
Yeah.
And, like, now that I don't, I can, like, see what's going on, and it's
what's
like, whoa.
That's what you're doing down there.
Like, whoa, I guess that's what it looks like, you know? It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm ready to find that out. I mean, obviously, that's not, like, my number one thing, but that is something that I want to see, like, what the difference is.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's so many things, like, just, like, a little things every day. Like, yeah, sex is, like, a great one, but, like, just going up a flight of stairs and not being, like, completely winded at the top.
Ooh,
like, not.
Do you know?
That's so sexual to talk about, Sarah.
But do you know that was one of the first questions the people asked me at the surgeon's office on Tuesday? She was like, how many flights of stairs can you walk up before you get winded? I was like 2 steps. I don't know.
Right?
I was like, I get winded. I was like, 1.5, I think. And she was like, okay, perfect. And I was like, I don't even know. I don't take the stairs ever.
Right? Oh my gosh.
That elevator life.
Yeah. Seriously. I work on the 4th floor in a hospital. I will go down the stairs to, like, the 3rd floor, but going up them, I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. It's always, like, you know, going down the stairs, gravity's, like, got your back. Going up the stairs, like, why does gravity exist?
Yeah, I don't even go to the Stairmaster when I go to the gym, because I see it and I'm like, I know how I feel after about 15 steps on a pair of stairs, that getting on this thing, I'm just gonna die. Like, this is where it ends, right here on this thing.
This is how I die.
This is it.
Oh, that's great. I mean,
yeah, I know, not me dying, but
yeah.
No, of course.
I would just say I'm so excited to, like, just follow your journey. Hopefully we can have you, like, on again and just, like, see how your journey progresses. And I'm sure the next time you're on, it'll just be more news. And I mean this so genuinely. I'm so excited for anyone who's about to have surgery. Mm-hmm. Like, it is such, like, I wish I'd done it sooner, just because the community on Instagram especially, and just the community of, like, people who have been fat and who are, like, trying to not be fat anymore, and the community of just, I'm just so excited for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm very excited, but like I said, I'm very nervous at the same time. Yeah. And I would love to be back on Thick Thoughts so that I can share more with you guys.
No, of course.
Definitely.
You got to let us know about some NSVs.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Okay, that you'll
and
probably
then after
discover.
Surgery, you know, watching what's happening, you know?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to let you know and be like, hey, girl, let me tell you about this. You were so right.
It's like, well, I guess there's something down there that I think is something happening. And then afterwards, it's like, whoa, there's something happening.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I had fun talking with y'all. This was definitely, I was nervous at first, but now that like we've just talked, I feel wonderful. But like watching you two, y'all are both very inspiring, and I can't wait to like, I can't wait to see how far this podcast goes. Cause like, I know there's so many people on Instagram who would love to just like talk with you guys and share their journeys. And I love that every single person's journey is different. It's not the same. It's not, well, I'm having surgery, and then you've got somebody else who's like, well, I'm having surgery too. Like every background is different. So I really like that about you guys, and I have enjoyed talking.
Oh my God, Emily, you're such a thick thought.
I know. Well, thank you, Emily, for joining us today.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for having me.
You're a beautiful person.
Thank you. I'm gonna cry.
And like Sarah said, we're, I think, all excited to see you and your journey. And I'm excited for your updates and stuff, and I'm excited for your doctor's updates and visits and stuff. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I have my EGD on the 17th, so hopefully no ulcers in my stomach, and I can be cleared from that. So,
ooh,
I know.
So thank you everybody for listening to Thick Thoughts.
If you guys like this podcast, if you could just subscribe and even maybe leave a review and just let us know how we're doing and what you like about us. And don't tell us anything you hate about us, because you definitely don't hate us. And make sure you subscribe. We're on Spotify. What else are we on, Ellie?
iTunes, Google Play, Overcast, literally anywhere where there's a podcast app
situation.
Yeah, we're on it. We're also on YouTube now.
Woohoo!
But yeah, just remember to please like and subscribe to us. Leave us comments. It helps us get seen by many people, and we just want to be there for whoever's searching for surgery or not searching for surgery. They're just searching for weight loss.
You can also buy us a coffee to help support the podcast. Maybe just like skip like a Snicker or two, or like a rice cake or two, and just buy us a coffee instead. We would appreciate that so much.
Yep. And all the links are always down below, and the links to our guests are always down below, or wherever you see the links and the description of this podcast. They're somewhere on there. All right,
there's something happening down there.
Yep. All right, so thank you again, Emily.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
And thank you everybody, and bye.